Hello and welcome to News 6 Extra. I am streaming executive producer Thomas Mates. I do apologize for the delay in the start of our show. We were dealing with some technical difficulties, but everything seems to be working just fine now. We've got a lot going on today. Of course, we are in the final countdown to the opening of Epic Universe, the brand new, enormous, state-of-the-art theme park over at Universal Orlando. News 6 theme park expert Haley Coombs will be joining us in a few minutes to let us know what we can expect from this week and then what still needs to be done before that big opening. There's going to be some heavy traffic problems, but the park is seemingly fully functional. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. We're also going to be looking at the growing pains that Eustis is going through. The small town is seeing a lot more people, but it doesn't currently have the infrastructure to handle all those people. News 6's Mark Lehman has that story, and we're going to take a look at a major drug bust here in Orange County. The Orange County Sheriff's Office made an announcement on those arrests, about 19 arrests, just about 2 hours ago. So we'll have all of that coming up in just a moment. But before we get to all of that, first we have to take a look at a new scam that is going around that is trying to bilk people out of their money. It's become such a problem that the Orange County Sheriff's Office, along with the Clerk of Courts, has issued a public service announcement warning people about this problem and to protect themselves. It's groups trying to convince you that you've missed jury duty and that you have to pay a fine. News 6's Lewis Bolden, News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden, has been looking into this issue.
They told me they were an officer from Orange County Sheriff's Department and that I missed jury duty and I had a warrant out for my arrest.
They were words that shook Jennifer Bennett to her core from a caller demanding money.
He told me that I had a $20,000 bond and I was able to pay 10% of it over the phone through Zelle.
Hello?
This is Sergeant Mike Jones with the Sheriff's Office.
So many people are getting the calls and losing money that it prompted Orange County Sheriff John Mina, Clerk of Courts Tiffany Moore Russell, and Chief Judge Lisa Munyon to produce this public service announcement warning the public.
Every week, criminals claiming to work for the court system or law enforcement call our residents threatening to arrest them for missing jury duty.
This is a scam.
The clerk's office will never contact you by phone or email, demanding money or personal information.
Seminole, Lake, and Volusia County officials have issued similar alerts. In Volusia County, the callers claim you owe a traffic citation. For Bennett, what was also startling was how much the caller seemed to know about her. What type of information did he have?
He had my full name, date of birth, and last 3 known addresses.
But when the caller asked her to send the $2,000 with Zelle, she knew it was a scam.
Now, if they would have said, send it through, like my clerk or something like that, I probably would have sent the money.
Remember, don't fall for the scheme, don't get ripped off, but if you do, email me at theinvestigators@WKMG.com. I'm Lewis Bolden, News 6.
Lewis has done several stories about this type of con that people are experiencing all across Central Florida. You can find all of Lewis's story at clickorlando.com/investigators. As I mentioned before, just about 2 hours ago, the Orange County Sheriff's Office made an announcement about a major drug bust that also involved help from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the Attorney General's office. News 6's Angie Quesada was there for the news conference.
This massive bust targeted a drug network, bringing in fentanyl and cocaine into our communities with deadly consequences. It started last September, a multi-jurisdictional investigation stretching across Orange, Polk, and Hillsborough counties. Authorities say the drug trafficking ring was importing fentanyl and cocaine from Mexico and California, leaving a deadly trail in its wake.
So in total, 19 people are charged with trafficking in fentanyl, trafficking in cocaine, also conspiracy to traffic in fentanyl and cocaine. And those charges, again, have mandatory minimum sentence ranging from 15 to 25 years. So they're not going to be around in our community anytime soon.
19 suspects are now in custody, along with 9 firearms and drugs with a street value of $1.5 million. All part of Florida's 2023 State Assistance for Fentanyl Eradication, or SAFE program.
Our administration, over the past few years, has made combating the fentanyl crisis a priority. We've passed numerous pieces of legislation that the governor has signed to increase penalties where these traffickers dangerously expose law enforcement to fentanyl. There are second-degree felonies now for that.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is directing more than $20 million to the SAFE initiative to help law enforcement fight back against drug trafficking. At the Orange County Sheriff's Office, Angie Casada, News 6.
And you can find more of that story at clickorlando.com. As we mentioned, and as we all know, Central Florida is growing rapidly. You know, people are moving here constantly, and some small towns, or formerly small towns, are really seeing those growing pains. That includes Eustis. News 6's Mark Lehman went out to Eustis to see how the city is trying to deal with this influx of people.
For more than 100 years, Groveland has been known for its natural charm, and recently the small town has been growing a lot. With new neighborhoods and an industrial park, the city is working to upgrade its fire services.
So right now, we currently don't have the infrastructure to serve the buildings that are in that area.
Today, commissioners are voting to secure a $10 million loan for a permanent fire station off State Road 19 and O'Brien Road. It will replace a temporary one that's been serving the area for the last 5 years.
But this permanent one will make sure we have the equipment and resources available for the entire area.
The city is also addressing needed utility improvements. Commissioners are looking to sign off on a $15 million line of credit for its water and sewer system.
This will go towards servicing an existing plant that we have and improvements within that plant that we need.
The investments come as Groveland has been trying to keep up with an explosion of growth in Lake County, and the city says they've developed a comprehensive plan on the issue.
Of course, change and growth is always going to happen, especially when a place is as great as Lake County. And I think everyone's working as hard as they can work to keep looking towards the future.
Reporting in Groveland, Mark Lehman, News 6.
I apologize for my error. I said Eustis, but I meant to say Groveland. We had a previous story in Eustis also dealing with very similar problems just about a week ago. Emily McLeod did that story, but again, I apologize. It's the city of Groveland that is dealing with those issues, and we will see more of what comes out of that. We'll keep you up to date on what the city decides later today on News 6. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll be speaking with News 6 theme park expert Haley Coombs all about Epic Universe. It is opening up officially on Thursday, and we're going to have a whole week's worth of coverage on it. Again, that's coming up in just about 2 minutes. Welcome back to News 6 Extra. The time now is 12:44. I am streaming executive producer Thomas Mates, filling in for Julie Broughton today. She had to cover for News 6 chief meteorologist Candace Campos earlier this morning, so she is heading home today to get some much-needed rest after an early morning. Right now, we are going to be taking a look at Epic Universe. The countdown is on the final countdown, as it were. It is something that people all across the country have been looking forward to, but no one more so than my colleague, News 6 theme park expert Haley Coombs. Haley, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, and neighbor too.
Yes, absolutely. We sit right next to each other, so anytime there's an update, I hear it immediately.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Anytime you need a favor, I'm like, sure, absolutely. You know, you don't have to look far. So
yeah, I appreciate it. So Haley, Thursday is the day.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about when it was announced nearly 6 years ago, and I did the math. It's been like over 2,000 days between that announcement and then Thursday, and it's surreal, and again, we're going over all these milestones of like 6 months away, 3 months away, and it's like it's this week, it's Thursday. Like, it hasn't I don't think I've processed, so maybe when it happens I'll be more excited. And
So I mean, this is going to be a big event. Like, can you tell us a little bit about what, I'm sure a lot of it's under wraps, but what do you know about that first day, that first big opening? I know people have already been kind of streaming in and out. They have the previews and everything like that, but the actual opening is going to be an event.
Yes. So throughout this month, they've obviously been a soft opening period where they're working with full crowds, full capacity. I've seen wait times posted of 300 minutes at the Battle of the Ministry.
Ooh.
So yeah, they are 6 hours just spending your day there, but at least it's AC. But so yes, the park is actually closed tomorrow and Wednesday, again, to accommodate with the media and working with behind the scenes. I'm very excited because my colleagues will be out there, some of our talent. I'm so excited to see them experience Epic Universe for the first time, or if they went now they're working it, they've been there on their own. So but the only they've been, of course, yes, Universal's been very mum about what exactly is going to be as part of the fanfare. But Wednesday night they're having a blue carpet coverage. There'll be a live stream. Obviously makes you think that there's going to be some celebrity appearances there walking the blue carpet. So, but and then of course Wednesday they're going to have a celebratory moment. So not sure what that is, but obviously people at the park will want to be there. Hence why opening day tickets sold out long time ago, because people know Universal knows how to throw a grand opening. So that'll be very exciting to see, and of course we'll be there.
Yeah, 6 hours with already limited admittance. I can't imagine what it's going to be like that first day. I mean, pack your patience, as they say. It's a cliche, but
patience, sunscreen, your hydration methods, everything. Yeah.
So what you said, it's going to be, the park itself will be closed tomorrow and the next day, no doubt, for some last minute preparations. Do you know what needs to still be done there? What needs to be buttoned up, as it were?
As far as I know, everything is in operation. I know that during the soft preview, a lot of the, they were saying the rides were not, going to be operating. But as far as just everything, they've done a lot of cosmetic and the final touches the past couple of weeks. But yeah, as far as I know, it's nothing big and drastic that's going to be off the table. So yeah.
Yeah, but the one thing we do know that's going to still be an issue and is still under construction is all the road construction around the area, I-4, and that massive traffic circle. What do you know about what's left and a potential timetable for that?
So when I was watching this morning's report on the Sand Lake Road interchange, and I did cackle at someone saying I-4 always needs help, and we can definitely attest to that. But the fact that this is only halfway through, and these diverging diamonds are supposed to help with increased traffic at the intersections, but we've been navigating the whole area for years now, and then we have this, and then of course we have the Kirkman Road extension, and that, of course, as you mentioned, that's part of the traffic circle. But yeah, this is the Sand Lake Road area, and that's going to navigate or help traffic flow to the area attractions like International Drive. And I keep thinking back to when these developers were saying that when Epic Universe is in operation, iDrive is going to see 100,000 people a day, and of course this interchange is right next to it, so that of course again feeds into that. So but yeah, I just and I'm looking ahead to this I-4 interchange. They're still going to put in pedestrian pathways and bike lanes. And I know
Yeah.
we always think about pedestrian area, like walking in that area.
Yeah.
Huh? What? No, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, they're not catering to the people who know better. They're catering to the tourists who are fresh to the area. But it's certainly going to be a sight to see as they wrap all this up. Now, the one thing that for people who haven't experienced Epic Universe, I know the one thing you've been stressing this whole time is that the place is really going to be coming alive at night. Like that is when the place, for lack of a better term, pun intended, shines. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. And Universal's been very mum about a fireworks show, and that promo again for Wednesday in the blue carpet coverage, there is fireworks renderings into that graphic. So obviously it has to make you think there's going to be some sort of big spectacle at night. But yeah, this is footage that some of my colleagues took when they went. But yeah, especially the Celestial Park area, there's so many lights, and that has to obviously will come alive at night. And so, but that'll definitely cater into, again, the whole Wednesday into Thursday, celebration. But yeah, it particularly the Celestial Park area with the light transformation, it is, the place to be.
it's very Art Deco, a lot of Retrofuturism kind of stuff. It's a lot of interesting set dressing. So I mean, what is like the number one, aside from the obvious of you're going to be standing outside and it's going to be hot, what would you say is the number one piece of advice you're going to give people getting in there that day? Obviously they're going to be dealing with crowds like we've probably never seen at a theme park before. Where should they devote their attentions?
I mean, I definitely say when you want to go to a Universal, especially that's known for their thrill rides, Universal has really, just broadened its variety of entertainment. And so I'm really, really taking it in. I'm really impressed with certain, the little entertaining aspects. I know I've talked to you about over in Donkey Kong Land. That's my favorite place to walk around. It's just so much fun. But, and yeah, over the weekend, a lot of rides were not in operation. So, you just have to understand that,
everything's brand new.
Everything's brand new. Everything's not always built on thrill. So, and pack your hydration. So, but yeah, that's my biggest advice is like, there's little things you can find entertaining, and that's
take it all in.
take it all in. Yeah, it's kind of like your wedding day. It's like you're there. Take it all in. Don't just spend if you want to spend 6 hours in a line at Ministry of Magic, I mean, more power to you. But yeah.
At those ticket prices, that's your whole day gone.
I highly recommend checking out the 2 entertainment shows. The Untrainable Dragon, in my opinion, is the best stage show at a theme park. I was impressed. So impressed. Jaw-dropping experience there. So highly recommend the stage shows there.
There you go. I mean, that's a good way to beat the heat too, especially when you're dealing with all those lines and virtual queues, et cetera, et cetera. So, Haley, I appreciate it. I know we're going to have so much more coverage this week. I believe the morning anchors are going to be out in the field tomorrow at Epic Universe, showing off.
Gadsden?
Yes. It's going to be a lot. So stick with us here on News 6. And, of course, head to clickorlando.com/themeparks to find all of Haley's coverage of Epic Universe, everything we know about the park so far, everything that's going to be coming up. She's got it all. And, of course, she's got her weekly newsletter, In the Loop, Theme Park Scoops with Haley Coombs. Haley Coombs, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Now we need to get a quick check on the weather before we call it a day here on News 6 Extra. As I said, Julie Broughton was in for Candace Campos this morning, and she has your forecast.
Had a great weekend, and your Monday is going well. The heat is sticking around as we move through the next several days, and that will continue to be our big weather headline as we move through the rest of our week. We are talking about afternoon highs today for most of us going in the mid-90s. That means when you factor in the relative humidity, it will feel like the low 100s. Now, we're not quite to our rainy season yet, and that means our rain chances do stay low, but we will begin to bump up that chance of rain as we head into the weekend and a front moves into our area on Thursday. Unfortunately, we're talking about a cold front, but we use the term cold loosely. We're not talking about a big cool down with that, so we are keeping it hot and mostly dry for the next several days. Now, as we've seen recently, we will be in record territory again this week. Here's a look at our forecast highs for today versus the record. So in Orlando, we'll go to 95. The current record was set in 1908. That is 98 degrees. Daytona Beach and Sanford looks like you'll have a little bit better chance of setting a new record. Sanford, your record is 97, and you are going today to a high of 96 degrees. Now, if you do have plans to be outside, maybe doing some yard work, I know I was talking to some people whose kids have a field trip today. Make sure you take a lot of breaks and drink a whole lot of water. We are talking about a moderate to major heat risk, which means you can overheat very quickly when we're talking about temperatures feeling like the low 100s. Now, here's a look at where we'll be this afternoon. Our afternoon high typically happens around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're in Ocala, you go to 97, 94 for your high today in the Villages, and you top out at 95 in Orlando. Our normal high this time of year is 89, so we're really cranking up that heat early. Here's how the temperatures will actually feel. So these are the important numbers. Notice, especially across our interior spots, it will feel like the low 100s with a heat index of 102 in Ocala and 102 degrees in Kissimmee. Here's a look at the southeastern United States. Satellite and radar imagery, we are seeing pretty quiet conditions. That is thanks to a ridge of high pressure, both at the surface and in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. That front we mentioned, that won't get here until Thursday, and even then we're only talking about a few isolated showers. Now, taking you through the day on your clouds and rain forecast, we are expecting a sea breeze to set up and try to move inland. Some of the models have been suggesting that we could see a few isolated showers. I think that will be limited, and we're not really talking about much lightning, but most of us will stay dry and hot. So for today, our afternoon high goes to 95 degrees. Again, rain chances today are at 20% or less, so don't expect any relief in the form of rain. Next 7 days showing highs stay warmer than normal every single day in the 7-day forecast. Look at those overnight lows in the 60s and 70s. We'll bring that chance of rain into the forecast for Thursday and Friday, and then by Sunday for your holiday weekend, again, we'll be tracking some isolated showers.
Ooh, it is going to be brutally hot, but it's Florida. We're used to it at this point. That'll do it for us here on News 6 Extra. I appreciate your time today. We'll have more coming up on News 6 at 4. News 6 meteorologist Jonathan Kegas will be in with more on your forecast. And he'll be carrying us through the evening, covering for Julie Broughton. Everything should be back to normal tomorrow, though, I believe. Of course, we'll have all of your day's headlines. Thank you again for joining us, and have a pleasant day.